Welcome back to Round Ball Rants. I'm your host, Vincent Cooper, and tonight we were supposed to be diving into another weekend slate of matchups, talking about who's hot, who's hurt, and who's trying to make a statement heading into November. But sometimes, life runs a full court press on you. You look up, the clock's winding down, and you realize time just beat you to the rim. That's what happened to me this week. Between work, family, and building this brand, the grind caught me in transition. No timeouts, no substitutions. And I thought about skipping tonight's episode altogether. But then I realized that is the story. The grind, the balance, the hours that nobody sees. So before we break down another game, I want to pull back the curtain a little bit. Because this isn't just about basketball. It's about what it takes to chase something after hours. To build a dream when you've already given the day everything you've got. So tonight's episode, it's not stats, it's not highlights, it's life in the lane. It's what happens when the work doesn't stop at the buzzer. Let's talk about it. It's midnight when I clock in. The world's quiet. The roads are empty. That's when my day starts. Most people are turning off the lights and calling it a night. And that's when mine begins. Sometimes it's a short one. I'm out by 7 in the morning. But when it's one of those heavy 12-hour nights, I'm punching in at 7:30 at night and not seeing daylight again until 7 a.m. Those are the shifts that make time feel heavier. You start measuring your day in coffee cups, playlists, and deep breaths between alarms. That's the life that Round Ball Rants was born in. Not celebrity hours, not influence or comfort, real hours. Third shift hours. The kind that test your purpose and make you decide what really matters. And before I go any further, let me say this. I know this isn't the usual basketball episode. There's no box scores, there's no stat sheets, no weekend preview, because the same grind I always talk about, it caught me this week. The schedule got me. I simply ran out of time. But instead of forcing something half done, I wanted to be honest about it. Because this brand isn't built on pretending, it's built on connection. And the truth is, the work, the hours, the family, and the dream, they all collided this week. So tonight's episode isn't a recap, it's a reminder that the grind gets all of us sometimes, and that's okay. We'll use this weekend to regroup, to research, to watch, and to come back sharper, so that on Monday we're ready to deliver the sport we all love, the way it deserves to be told. But right now, this moment, this episode, it's about the bounce. It's about what happens when you're out of gas, but you still show up. When you work nights long enough, you start living in reverse. You drive to work under moonlight and come home under sunrise. The world's waking up just as you're shutting down. And somewhere, in between, you start to realize how fragile that balance really is. There are nights when it's just me, the hum of the building, and a half-empty vending machine, coffee staring back at me like a mirror. That's when the thoughts start running. Basketball ideas, family moments, life lessons. That's when Round Ball Rants starts forming in my head. I'm writing on my phone, typing away, piecing together the next episode in between alarms and conversations that fade into white noise. Because when your body's tired, your mind starts cutting through the clutter. And what's left are the three things that matter most to me. Family, faith, and purpose. When I clock out, the sun's already up. People are jogging, kids are getting ready for school, the world's just getting started. And that's when my real shift begins. Husband, father, dream builder. I've got 3 little girls, 7, 4, and 1, and a wife named Kaylee. She's my rock and my chaos. She's the reason I still laugh when my body wants to quit. She brings light into every dark hour, even when she's running on fumes herself. And my girls, man, they are my reason. They don't care what time I work. They just know that Dad comes home tired, smiling, and still trying. That's what I want them to see. That's the legacy that I'm building. People talk about the grind like it's a badge of honor, but they don't mention the guilt. The guilt of missing bedtime stories because you're editing when the world's asleep. The guilt of sitting in a parking lot too tired to drive home, knowing your family's waiting. The guilt of realizing the dream you're chasing sometimes takes time away from the very people you're chasing it for. That's the real cost of building something while working 60 hours a week. And yet, I wouldn't trade it. Because this show, Round Ball Rants, gives me something that my job can't. It gives me voice. It gives me peace. It gives me a way to process the noise of the world and turn it into something meaningful. Some nights I ask myself if it's worth it, staying up late, recording while everyone sleeps, trying to make something out of exhaustion, and every time, the answer is yes. Because this isn't just about basketball. It's about bounce. It's about therapy. It's about connection. Working third shift changes how you see time. When you live in the margins, every minute counts twice. Every conversation with your kids, every hug from your wife, every episode recorded while half awake. It all matters more. So I build this brand in stolen moments, lunch breaks, drives home, the quiet half hour before I collapse into bed. Because you don't need perfect conditions to build something real. You just need purpose. There's beauty in exhaustion when it's tied to something bigger than you. When I walk through the door after a 12, my 7-year-old runs up yelling, "Dad's home." The 4-year-old is tugging on my sleeves, wanting me to see her drawing. The baby's laughing for no reason at all. And somehow, all that tiredness just fades. That's what I mean by bounce, the energy that love gives you when sleep can't. Kaylee and I, we don't live on a normal clock. We trade time like teammates, passing the ball back and forth, making sure that nobody drops it. She runs the morning shift, I take the nights. It's not easy, but it's ours. And in that rhythm, that messy, beautiful rhythm, we find enough. And before we close, let me take a second to thank the people who help keep me going during these long nights. Dubby.gg. They've been powering Round Ball Rants with clean, crash-free energy that actually helps me focus during those third shift hours. If you're grinding like me, working nights, building dreams, chasing kids, whatever your version of the bounce looks like, fuel it the right way. Go to Dubby.gg, use the code RoundBallRants, and get 10% off your next order. Support the show, support your focus, and keep your bounce alive. Because this brand, it isn't built in free time. It's built in faith time, in moments between exhaustion and intention, in every second where I choose to show up instead of giving up. Because that's what Round Ball Rants really is. It's not a podcast, but proof. Proof that even when time's thin, passion's thick. Proof that even when life's chaotic, there's still clarity in the things we love. Proof that family, faith, and basketball can all coexist in the same heartbeat. So if you're listening to this right now, maybe you're at work, maybe you're driving home from a night shift, maybe you're just tired of the grind. This one's for you. You're not behind. You're not late. You're just on your own schedule. And that's okay. Keep chasing your thing. Keep finding your bounce. Because whether it's at noon, midnight, or 7 in the morning, purpose doesn't care what time it is. It just needs you to show up. Give me a call sometime, 216-452-8813. Tell me what your grind looks like. Tell me how you balance the chaos and the calling. Because maybe we're all on third shift in our own way, building something the world won't understand until the lights come on. I'm Vincent Cooper. This is Round Ball Rants, and it's not just basketball, it's therapy with a bounce.